All right, let's check in with how far down the rabbit hole we are currently. This is a video response to Alyosha's video response to Matthew Segal's video response on David's Integral 2.0, the upgrade video. The crux of the argument so far, I would say, is discovering some compatibility between idealism and realism. Alyosha and David fall on the emergentist side, which Matthew and I claim are denouncing idealistic values. Alyosha focuses the majority of his critique on not understanding Matthew's abstract language. I will start by saying that the purpose of abstract language is not to appear smart or not to be intentionally vague or use sweeping generalizations to just include a bunch of things. It's actually an invitation to interpret on a subjective level objective or absolute things. Now, as long as we know what we're doing when we're doing this and are making that distinction, I maintain my agnosticism tethered to as like the sail on my sailboat in order to discover new oceans. If you never leave the agnosticism, if you never fully put on the mask, you will remain in a bubble. And so the abstract and literal interpretations have performed different functions. And again, as long as we are doing it intentionally and are able to access the other, in your case, the literal or objective and absolute realms, we can do it in a healthy way. So Alyosha has no idea, he repeatedly says this, of what Matthew means by the word soul. Now, I can tell you that I know what he means, in spite of everyone having a slightly different definition of soul. That's hence why we use a general term like soul to mean what I have inside of me and what you have inside of you. But that's exactly it. The definition of the soul is that individuated life force within each being. So, and there's a scale of soul expression. We would even say like soul power is not equally distributed among all beings. And how did I know that? Without knowing Matthew's definition, you can say that we're reading the same authors or have the similar disposition, but I knew what he meant. And it's kind of disarming. Maybe that's not the right word, but it's alarming that you could not fathom what he meant by the word soul. I see that as a limitation instead of a progressive thought of, you put it back on him saying that he's not being clear, but I think that that's as clear as we can get. And again, as long as it's tethered to the agnosticism and recognition that this is a lower right quadrant interpretation of something that is absolute or objective, we are in a place of advantage. So what I'm saying is that these are not absolute or objective claims, but they are at least subjective claims. They have the possibility, and that's why it's worth taking the boat to discover new oceans, because we must leave the shore to discover new oceans. I'm just making a video. Can be quiet. So just like all religion and all symbols are at least symbolic. They're at least psychological. And so it doesn't mean that what we're perceiving is real or not real. Say hi.
Hi. Wait, why are you not saying hi?
That's okay. All right. So right. Let me try to rehash that. So the when we speak of abstract terms, we acknowledge that they are at least psychological, they are at least subjective, but are searching for ways to explore them on an objective or absolute. Hey, can you give me some privacy? These kids